Continue with the fifth chapter from your economics book of grade 12, and the name of the chapter is Supply, Law of Supply and Price Elasticity of Supply. Today we are going to start from movement along the supply curve and shift of supply curve. It is important to distinguish between a movement along the supply curve and shift in the whole supply curve, that is between the change in the quantity supplied and the change in supply. Movement along the supply curve or expansion and contraction of supply. This is the first part we are going to discuss. Quantity supplied changes as a result in change in its own price. Okay, change in its own price of the commodity, and other factors remain the same. We can understand this with the help of this diagram. Okay, you can see as the price is changing from OP1 to OP2, you can see the supply have just got expanded. Okay, the supply is also moving upward from A1 to A2. It is shifting, it is just moving, right? It is rather than shifting, we must say it is moving along the same supply curve. As the price is decreasing from OP1 to OP3, you can see that from A it came down to A3, so it is contraction. So as we are changing the price of that commodity, we are thinking that all the other factors are constant. Only the price of that commodity is changing. We will find that the quantity supplied is also changing. As the price is increasing, the supply is also increasing. That is what we are calling expansion in supply. And when the price is decreasing, we are finding there is less amount of supply or decrease in supply. That is the contraction of supply. Okay, this is movement along the supply curve. This means there is only one supply curve and we are just moving, going up or coming down. That is expansion or contraction, but there is only one supply curve. Okay, it is only saying about only one product and its change in price. This is happening because there is change in price in its own that same product. Next is shift of supply curve or change in supply curve. We will try to understand this with this kind of a diagram. You see, when we are considering that there is P, let us consider OP. When the price is OP, you are seeing that there are three supply curves or three supply lines, right? One is S1, S2 and S3. So let us consider when price OP was there at the beginning, the point is A1. A1 is the supply. Okay, so the point is S1. As the price, you can see, of other factors are changing here, not the price of that single commodity. They are talking about the other factors. As the price of other factors are changing, you can see there is a decrease in supply. Okay, there is decrease in supply and the supply curve is shifting towards its left from A1 to A3. As it went to A3, you can see the supply curve S1 have got shifted to S3 as the price of that same the commodity is remaining constant. Okay, as other factors are again changing, you can see there is another effect and we can find there is a increase in supply from point A1. The supply curve is shifting to A2 and now the supply curve S1 have got shifted to S2. This is because of the increase in supply. Okay, so we can say that this is happening because there is change in other factors, whereas the price of that commodity remains constant. We can understand this uh, expansion and contraction, expansion of supply and increase in supply. This is the two different things they are talking about. Increase in supply means the price is fixed. You can see figure number 10. The price is fixed of that commodity. Other factors are changing. As other factors are changing, the supply curve is increasing its supply or it can decrease its supply also. Okay, we are finding a shift in the supply, whereas expansion in supply, increase in supply and expansion in supply is two different things. Increase in supply means when the price is fixed, other factors are changing. We can find there is a shift in the supply, where in expansion in supply means the price of that commodity is changing. Okay, and the supply is getting expanded or getting contracted, or contraction is happening or expansion is happening. Okay, but as because the change, there is a change in that commodity's price. Okay, next you can see there are a few differences given here. Contraction in supply, I have already explained you. Contraction means the supply is coming down, supply is getting contracted or decreased because there is a change in its own price. Then there is decrease in supply. You can see this decrease in supply, the price is remaining same, whereas other factors are affecting the supply curve, and we can find there is a leftward shift of the supply curve. Right, next we are going to understand about the price elasticity of supply. So price elasticity of supply means, just now we came across the law of supply, where they are telling us about the change, about the shift, about the contraction, but how much there will be the change. If there is change in the price of the own commodity, or maybe other factors are changing, what is the degree, how much supply is going to get changed, that is not explained with the help of law of supply. So we have to understand it with the help of price elasticity of the supply. So price elasticity of supply is going to tell us what is the ratio, or what is the you can say responsiveness and sensitivity of the quantity supplied change. What will be the change with this change in price? Okay, first thing is we have to measure it. Price elasticity of supply measures the degree of responsiveness as of the quantity supplied of a commodity to a change in its price. The measure it measures the sensitivity of the quantity supplied of the commodity to a change in its price. Okay, as there is a change in its price, so we are going to understand that how much change in price is going to affect the supply. So first thing is how we are going to understand the different kind of degrees, what are the or categories of change in supply. One is the perfect elastic, another is perfectly inelastic, unitary elastic, and elastic. Last one is inelastic. Okay, so perfectly elastic supply means they're talking about the infinity. Okay, infinity or perfectly elastic supply represents a case in which, I would like to just make it short for you, that is quantity supplied will remain same. In this case, if we find that the price decreases, there will be no supply. This is the extreme case. Okay, we're going to understand this with this kind of a diagram. You can see perfectly elastic supply curve, where they are considering that the price is given is OP, and the supply line you can see that is infinity, S1. Okay, so this is an infinity line. No matter, the supply will continue like this in the market, but if there is ever a decrease in the price, there will be no supply of this product anymore in the market. Okay, perfectly inelastic, this is the thing. Yes, this is the perfectly inelastic. You can see figure number 2, perfectly inelastic. This means that the change in the price, there is change in price. You can see at the beginning there is OP1, it is decreasing to OP2. Right, so you can see that it is increasing or it is decreasing, but the supply is static. The supply is not changing, the supply is fixed. Okay, next we are having unitary elastic. Here is the figure. Unitary elastic, I have already explained you that unitary elastic means equal to 1. This means percentage change in supply will be the same in the percentage change in the price. The percentage change in both the factors remains the same. As much there will be change in price, that much there will be change in the supply. This is called unitary elastic. Next we are having elastic supply. Okay, elastic supply means we will find that the percentage, here is the figure. Yeah, you will find here that the percentage change in supply is more than percentage change in price. Okay, as much there will be change in price, the supply will have more change. With maybe a little bit of increase of price, the supply will increase more. Little bit of change and the supply will be more. This is explained with the help of this S5. You can see the price elasticity is more than 1. Okay, and next they are saying inelastic supply. Inelastic supply means where there will be percentage change in quantity supplied is less than the percentage change in price. The percentage change here in the price will be more. Price is changing more, but the supply is not changing according to the same ratio. The supply will also change. Okay, the supply will also change, but it is not going to exceed the way the price have changed. Now see this diagram carefully. They are saying here that in fact, any straight line supply curve that cuts x-axis or y-axis, cuts y-axis has elastic supply all through. Okay, throughout they are having elastic supply if the line is cutting or intersecting y-axis, that is S5, and S6 you can see it is coming and touching the x-axis, so we will say this is an inelastic demand. How to measure it? Right, next question comes, how to measure it. Measurement of elasticity of supply can be done in two ways. One is the percentage method, other is the geometric or you can say point method. Okay, percentage method means the ratio of percentage change in the quantity supplied. Okay, that is ES. You can see here is written ES, this formula. ES is the ES is stands for the elasticity of supply. How we are going to find the price elasticity of supply? With the percentage method, that is percentage change in quantity supplied divided by percentage change in price. If you can recall, the way we have done this thing in the demand chapter is same, right? So percentage change, how we will get the percentage change until we know the initial one, right? So that is change in the quantity divided by initial quantity supplied into 100. Then we are going to say that the change in the price divided by initial price into 100, and as we are solving the equation we are getting that percentage or you can say change in quantity by change in price into initial price divided by initial quantity. We are going to get this equation done. Okay, here are few you can say numerical problems already solved as example and given it to you. It will be easier for you to follow it. Next we are saying geometric or point method. Okay, geometric or point method also we have done in our demand chapter. Alright, so it's the same thing here again. Geometric method is used to measure the elasticity of supply at a given point of supply curve. That is why it is known as the point method of measuring elasticity of supply. How they are doing this we'll understand with the help of a diagram. You can see at the initial one, that is figure 1 here. Yes, the first one. Okay, you can see that there is a straight line drawn as S is the supply curve and OP is the price and OB is the quantity supplied. So as they are drawing the supply curve, they are just extending it little bit down and touching it the x-axis. As they are touching the x-axis, what they are doing is wherever they are touching, okay, like AB divided by OB, they are taking the part first and then they are taking the whole area below. The part will come at the top and the whole will come at the below. So as SSS, that is the supply curve when extended, it is touching the x-axis. As it is touching, A is the point. A is the point from where we are going to calculate. So AB will go at the top, and OB, the whole line, will come at the below. So if we just observe it, we will see that AB is smaller than OB. Therefore, the supply elasticity AB divided by OB is less than unitary. Okay, that's why they have written ES less than 1. Okay, next, ES less than 1 means elasticity is supply is inelastic in nature. Okay, you see the next diagram where you will see point K. Point K is the point where the supply curve is cutting each other. You can see OP is the price, and let us take only one at the beginning, that is S1. Okay, you can see as S1 is pulled down, it is touching the origin, right? It is touching the origin. This means it is unitary elastic, because if we try to divide this, how the equation is going to be AB divided by OB, it is the same thing, right? So AB is equal to OB. So AB is equal to OB means that is price elasticity is equal to 1. That means unitary elastic. You can see S2, this diagram S2, as it is we are extending it, it is just intersecting y-axis. As y-axis is getting intersected, we can say that the supply is more here. So we can conclude that the price elasticity here is perfectly elastic. So what happens if there is a supply curve? If it is straight, we are going to just bring the imaginary line and just extend it below. But if the supply curve is little bit curved in its nature, you can see this diagram, if the supply curve is little bit curved, then we have to draw a tangent. We can draw a tangent which is touching the supply curve, and draw an extension and bring it down and touch to the x-axis, and then we can again apply the same thing. So in this case, as they are drawing the tangent, the point TT, you can see the line here, they are drawing the tangent and bringing below, extending it below till A. So they are going to measure here by AB divided by OB. Since AB is smaller than OB, we can say that the supply elasticity is less than unitary. Okay, so what are the determinants that affect the elasticity of supply? First of all is the behavior of cost of production. If an increase in output by the farms in an industry causes only a slight increase in their cost per unit, or leads to decrease in cost per unit, we should expect supply to be fairly elastic. Okay, what is the cost of production? That also determines how much the supply is going to be in the market. Okay, so time element means even there is a short run, the products which can be produced and supplied within a very short run, we usually tend to see in short run we are not able to make so much of production, so that time we will find it is inelastic. In long run, new farms can be put up and production can be increased, so there we can find that the elasticity is tending to increase. Nature of the commodity. Nature means whether it's durable or perishable. If it is durable, then the supply is elastic, because they can keep it in stock for longer period, and as they will get higher price, they can sell it. But if it is perishable, then the nature of the supply is inelastic, because it cannot be stored for longer period of time. Availability of facilities for expanding output. If the producer is getting sufficient amount of you can say raw materials, or you can say all the other factors which whatever is needed for production, if he is getting everything in sufficient, then the supply is going to increase. Okay, nature of output. If production of a product requires input order that are easily available, its supply will be elastic. And on the other hand, if you find that the that the inputs are needed to be specialized, then it will become inelastic in nature. Okay, nature of technical production. If the products are needed some special kind of technique to produce it, then we will find that the supply is decreasing. And if we find it is produced with some simple method, then we will find that the production is increasing and the supply is also increasing. Factor mobility. Whatever raw materials or factors of productions are needed to produce that product, if the factors are mobile, can be shifted from production of one commodity to another. Whenever suppose a farmer is producing cabbage and he finds that if he shifts his cultivation to peas, if he starts cultivating peas, he'll be able to sell it at a high price. Then he will get shifted to producing something else. Then we will find that the supply is increasing of that single commodity, because all the suppliers, maximum suppliers will try to supply the same thing, because they are finding that the price of that product is high at that moment. Okay, risk taking means the entrepreneurs are ready to take risk. If they are ready to take risk, then the supply will be more elastic, and if the entrepreneurs hesitate, then there will be obviously less supply in the market of that commodity. Expectation of future price, that means if the producer finds that the price at right now is the best price to sell his product, the supply will be high in the market. He will start supplying all the stocks he's having. And if the producer feels like in future he is going to get much more higher price than at present, then he will start keeping his products in stock and the supply will decrease in the market. Hopefully you understood the chapter. Thank you.